The new Make America Healthy Again Childhood Report is finally out, and it goes through some really interesting stuff, so let's dive into it. Now, I don't care if you hate RFK, if you love RFK, let's try to look at all this objectively so we can really see where our children's health is at. I want to urge everyone to actually read this report. It's only 70-something pages, and it gets broken down into very easy to read and very easy to digest material. With that being said, give me your next minute or two. Let's run through this. I'm going to give you the most important stuff that you need to know. First and foremost, they start talking about chronic disease in children, and they're showing that over 40% of our children have at least one chronic health condition. They talk about childhood obesity, with 1 in 5 children over 6 years old being obese, which is up 270% compared to the 1970s. Next, they talk about diabetes and prediabetes, with 1 in 4 teens being prediabetic, which has more than doubled over the last 2 decades. Then they go through and talk about neurodevelopmental disorders. This breaks down to autism, ADHD, and learning disorders. First, they talk about autism. They state that 1 in 31 children by the age of 8 are diagnosed as autistic, compared to the 1980s when this number was 1 in 10,000. They mention that 10% of children are diagnosed with ADHD, which is up approximately 1 million from 2016 compared to 2002. They finally note that learning impairments are also on the rise, with over 7.5 million students needing some sort of special education service. Childhood cancer has risen 40% since 1975. This was extremely serious with the mental health crisis that our children are going through. Teenage depression rates have doubled over the last 10 years, and 1 in 4 teenage girls have reported a major depressive episode over the past year. Suicide deaths have increased by 62% in 10 to 24-year-olds, and anxiety is also up 61%. There's been an 88% rise in childhood food allergy prevalence from 1997 to 2018. The second part of the report here is the hypotheses of what's causing these chronic health conditions in children. I can make a separate video talking about these in detail, but these break down into poor diet, exposure to chemicals, lack of physical activity and chronic stress, and over-medicalization. What this does is sets the foundation for the big report that comes out here in August for the plan of action that this campaign is going to take to mitigate these chronic health issues in children. So as you can see, this whole Make America Healthy Again movement, it goes past specific conditions. This goes into the overall health of our children, and you can see it goes so many different directions. And this is really the document that we need to make strides in the right direction. So let me ask you, why do you guys think that these rates are rising like they are? I know they talk about it here, but I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are too.